it going, everybody?
How's it going? We are here. It is Comic Book 101, issue 18. Say it ain't so, Cap.
That's right.
This could be a very controversial one, and I kind of feel like it's going to be controversial because I think I'm going to take a controversial stance.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I may flip-flop on this. I may go full politician on this.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
So,
it might be divided.
Yeah, it could be. But on that note, I am SuperBeard Vince Hoover, and to my right, as always,
I am Jason Q. Perez. How's it going, everybody?
And welcome to Comic Book 101. We are so glad to see you here. I feel like, I don't know, it feels different, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think we got the angle a little bit different.
Yeah, it's a little bit different today.
We're looking up at you guys like, look at us.
It's all good. I like it. It'll work. So today we're going to be talking about Captain America and all his glory and all the controversy that goes along with him right nowadays. But before we do that, good find, sir. Speaking of little Funko Pop vinyls.
Look at all this stuff in front of us. It came from Comics and Hobbies because they're not your typical comic store. Instead, think of them of a pop culture store. Whatever you're into, whether it's comics, games, anime, or sports, they have everything there. And you should stop by and talk with Craig. He's an excellent conversationalist, and he's always got a great story. And there's over 3 locations in Pinellas, and they're also the first retail store to carry the new Area 52 beard and oil balms, which is available in the stores and online. And tell us more about that. Vince here with the beard.
I do have a good beard. I do have a good beard, and I love it very, very much. And I have a lot of it to contribute to.
Cap doesn't have a beard.
No,
but
he should.
He should.
I do believe. I think every hero should.
In fact, in the opening, he had a beard.
Every hero should have a beard. Just like this. Just like this. Area 52 Beard Co. is not your typical beard oil and beard balm company. No, we don't have terrestrial oils that dry out your beard and give you beard rough, or those scents that last for mere minutes instead of the hours you were promised. With Area 52 Beard Co., you will get cold-pressed oils and pure essential oils that give you the absolute best quality standard possible. You can even say it's out of this world. So go to area52beardco.com or go see Craig at the Clearwater Comics and Hobbies to get your bottle and not have to wait on shipping. So that's fun too.
Yes, it is. I'm sorry.
And no, that's fine. It was good. I like it. So we do have all this wonderful stuff here before we jump into the episode. I think it's fantastic. And look, everybody remember last week with the Star-Lord?
That's right.
Oh, this is not Chris Evans.
Way to go, soldier.
No, not way to go. You're a ripoff. He's like one of those like William Burnside guys who posed as Captain America while Captain America was frozen, and the government wanted to keep him going.
Yes.
So they had a stand-in go in, but they didn't use a full super soldier serum.
Substitute teacher.
Yeah, and it made him go completely crazy, so they had to put him under cryogenics so they could.
That's what happens when you do a bootleg serum.
Nice takedown.
Yeah.
That's not the voice from the Avengers Assemble, is it? Nah.
Yeah, they couldn't. Chris Evans said no to his 1 o'clock in the morning audio shoot. So that one will not be played with for the rest of the episode. I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy. But these are cool. These over here, those are pretty nice. So I'm jumping on because I'd love to hear. Today is going to be a fairly, I do believe it's going to be a controversial episode.
Yeah.
Captain America is one of those guys who's held up on a pedestal. He was created literally as kind of pro-America war propaganda. And ever since then, he's always been the guy to make the right choice, even when it seems like the wrong choice at the time. Like in Civil War, the comic book series, and Civil War, the movie, he went against the government because the government was wrong. He made the right choice, not the government choice.
That's
not
right,
the politically correct choice. He made the right choice. So he has always been that guy to stand for right and wrong. And now this big, huge shift in paradigm is crazy. But a point I'll touch on a little bit later with the Secret Empire. And for those of you who haven't read it yet, if you didn't go to Free Comic Book Day and get your issues, here's issue 0 that's out. Free Comic Book Day issue, as well as number 1. All of these are out right now. I would read them in order of 0, Free Comic Book Day, and then 1. That's the order of how they fall, and then 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth will be coming in. There's some very controversial scenes. It's not just the whole fact that he's Hydra now. it really will blow your mind, kind of stuff that happens. But one of them really just it's crazy. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for the prelude issue where it's him saying "Hail Hydra." That was the most controversial published image of him, and everybody went absolutely nuts. I don't remember when.
And it's one of those things. I almost felt like I don't have that issue. That was before this one.
There was a little insert in one of these because I was reading it right before we started.
And
anyway, so
might be in. I don't know.
So
but
yeah,
I'll continue on while you look for that. But it was like, oh, how are they going to top the fact that they went ahead and retconned using the Cosmic Cube to go back and change him to a Hydra agent? Well, they topped it, and then they topped it again. So I'm actually, again, walking on eggshells with Marvel because they've kind of, missed the boat a few times, jumped a shark a few times.
there it is.
But
prelude.
yeah, there it is, right there.
This is what
Yeah.
everybody.
Oh, we're only going to go to your camera. That scene right there.
The hearts of America dropped at this.
Yeah. Never have you seen a more immediate and more loud uproar by comic fans, and they just went to town on Marvel. And again, like I said, Marvel was quickly, oh, it's from the Cosmic Cube, Red Skull did it, blah blah blah. But Nick Spencer, who is a former, from what I understand, he was with the government, not necessarily CIA, but he worked in that kind of area. And then he went on to write mystery spy novels. I mean, this guy is taking his first real dive into comic books, but they kind of picked the right guy. This guy knows mystery and intrigue and how to build it. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm still walking on eggshells with Marvel, but so far so good. I like the way it's going. Not all of the art I feel is up to par. I feel the art in the Free Comic Book Day issue. I don't particularly care for that artist, but a lot of people do. I can't, obviously speak for everybody. This one was Andrea Sorrentino. Oh yeah, that's why I have a show. Dylan goes in my ear and goes, well, you can try it. I'm like, of course I'll try. That's why I have a show. I'm gonna get on you later when we get to the board, because I before E except after C. Yeah, so I just happened to see that.
Oh, please do.
Oh God, yeah. It just so popped up. I glanced over and I'm like, oh! And you forgot an E in different. Oh, I'm gonna so ride you on that board. Okay, wait, what?
Yeah.
The artist, Andrea Sorrentino, it's a particular type of art. It's kind of this, I don't even know how to describe it. It's kind of a hard, let me see if I can get a nice big shot here without giving away the shot I want to give away so far.
Yeah.
Now, when I show you the panel I'm talking about, you can see the art I'm talking about. It's just not my thing. I don't personally like it. Other people do. Obviously, she has a job on one of the biggest titles Marvel's doing right now. So she's obviously doing it well for herself. It's just not my particular cup of tea. But the other art and the other two books are phenomenal. The writing is fantastic. Color is great. So
what do you guys think?
yeah, let's hear some comments.
Yeah, give us a call.
We're gonna start. Oh yeah, 813-982-4049. There it is, right there. 813-982-4049. Call in. We'd like to hear what you have to say about it. Or you can write us right on the website. Go to comicbook101tv.com, and there's a little chat forum there, so you'll be able to do that as well. We're going to dive first into just the history of Captain America. Then we'll start getting into the controversial stuff a little bit later on. I just want to touch on it a little bit now. Let's go ahead. Let's start with how he started.
Okay. So yeah, he was the fictional character created during World War II to really bolster the American people against the Nazis, and it was a great idea because, of course, he was colored with the American flag and all its symbols. He was the iconic, and at the time he was created, the creators Joe Simon and Jack Kirby were thinking, how are they going to go about creating this character in his name? And they decided there were too many supers out there, so maybe they could go with something of a more military, path to it, because the mentality is of this country, we're at war right now. So they went with Captain, and it was a good move on their part.
Yeah, because you gotta remember, we weren't fully in the war at the time, but we were pretty much, like, a lot of people could see the writing on the wall, and Joe Sim and Jack Kirby could. So originally the name was Super America, which that just sounds dumb.
No.
I'm really glad, because it never would have taken off. But Captain America, they're like, no, we have too many supers already. We need somebody, grounded in somewhat. And this was one of the first characters to get a full-on run as a solo character right away, like just from concept. Most of the time back then, you had all these different books like Tales to Astonish, whatever, where characters were put in for short stories, and then it was like a compilation. Captain America was the first for Timely Comics, which eventually became Marvel Comics, to get his own, just like right away. Like, oh, we love the concept, full book, let's get going. Joe Sim was actually like, there's no way Jack Kirby could do a full book on one character. We'll bring in these other artists. Jack was actually quite insulted by that and said, no, I can do it. And sure enough, he did. And so we had the birth of Captain America with a great run during the war up to the 50s.
Right.
And then took some time off and then moved on. But
yeah, it was kind of, after the war, I mean, yes, there was a Korean War at that time, but he kind of became a Joe McCarthy superhero, which in a sense is really not so much of a superhero.
Doing the whole
it just really
communist, supremacist kind of, it got...
commie hunting, so it kind of died off. He had a little return back in the mid-50s. It didn't really work out, and they kind of abandoned him again, but...
Well, that was where it turned out that it wasn't the original Steve Rogers. It was a crazy... We'll get into those crazy stories in a little bit. We're going to go to break first. When we come back, we're going to jump to the board, and we'll go through the board, and then we're going to dive into Secret Empire. So we'll be right back.
So
three.
just, hey, what's up,
We're here with
guys?
DJ E-Race.
DJ E-Race.
So,
There it is.
there he is, DJ E-Race. So here it is, Captain America. I think we're missing a white ring here. Wait, are we? I think you might have it right. Nope, you're good. You were
Worked
good,
really,
sir.
really hard on that.
We are really good. You're good. There's not an extra
Stayed up
ring. There's
really
only
late.
one.
And
There's
I
only
had
one.
a lot of misspells because I was up late.
So real quick fun fact. This was Captain America's original shield.
That's right.
Which right now he is currently carrying that shield again because it moved.
It moved.
I got it. So this is
There, Tills.
Captain America's original shield. An official replica from the movie. It's even got handles so I can carry it around. Pew, 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 pew. It says official replica on this.
Loot crate.
Yep. So, the fun fact there is this was his original shield, but there was another comic company, and
That's cool. It's made of metal. It's his
Vibranium.
shield. Vibranium. It's cool. You kidding me? It's made to do
I
that.
saw that, Dylan. Yeah.
So
everybody's gonna look at my backside for a second.
All right. So it was mainly about the design of the character was copyrighted.
Yeah, the design of the shield was copyrighted by another comic book company. I know I have it here.
And they had a very similar character. That,
No, it was actually their logo.
oh, okay.
It was their logo, and they sued them. Well, they didn't really sue them. They said, "Hey, look, cease and desist this,
Cease
so
and
we're
desist.
gonna sue you." So Stan Lee, although not the actual creator of the character, came up with this, as well as the ability to use it as a throwing disc.
That's right.
He was the first one to do that in a short story in a comic book. So that's where that came from. But right now, Captain America's kind of back to this one. Doesn't look the same pattern, same design, but it's a different pattern. I don't have it. Because Sam Wilson is currently Captain America with this one. So Falcon is now Captain America. Steve Rogers is Steve Rogers, the Captain. One of his other aliases. So,
All right.
as we said before, Joe Sim and Jack Kirby created him.
In Captain America Comics, issue 1. Now, it says it was published in March of 1941, but
As we've discussed many times before, they treated these comic books back in the day like cars, where they were, you can buy a 2017 Nissan in 2016. This one was published in December of 1940, but marked on the magazine cover as March 1941. Why'd they do that? No one knows. They
Comics.
knew. They're not around. We can ask Stan Lee. Maybe we will at MegaCon when we go
right,
see him.
we're gonna be there.
Okay.
So, Captain America, the mantle of Captain America was first with Steve Rogers, the first Avenger, maybe? We'll get back to that. It's also been given to Bucky Barnes and Sam Wilson. Bucky Barnes, as we all know, is the Winter Soldier, and Sam Wilson, as he mentioned, the Falcon. There's been others,
There's been others,
but I think those are the ones.
all
worth
pretty
mentioning.
unsuccessful.
Yeah. Obviously, because we don't, you don't, nobody really knows.
As it, because like we said, there was a small run during the 50s that weren't so successful with the whole commie thing. It was retconned later on that, of course, he fell off the bomb and was frozen. The government didn't want anybody to know that, so they made a guy who was obsessed with Steve Rogers and even got plastic surgery to look like Steve Rogers, thus the reason it still was called Steve Rogers. Had his name legally changed to Steve Rogers, and that was William Burnside. He had his friend legally get his name changed to Bucky Barnes.
so they could-
They both took this generic
Imposters.
super serum, but
A
they
bootleg
didn't,
one.
Yeah, which did not use which they didn't know. It didn't use the Vita ray radiation, so it eventually drove them insane. The government's like, this isn't working. Put them on cryogenic freeze till they could figure out how to fix them. As far as I know, Burnside is still frozen. Jack, the one who was Bucky Barnes, is out, and I guess has been cured. I don't know. That's one of those characters like you try to keep up with it, and you're just not going to be able to. There's been others. There's been the U.S. Patriot took up the mantle for a short time
that's interesting.
when Captain America went to Nomad.
Yeah.
He also, when he got
Man
very
with
fed up
no
with America and the
country.
government, there was a time when late 80s, early 90s, Captain America dropped America from his name. He was the captain, and that's when U.S. Patriot became Captain America. So it's just, yeah, it was very, yes, Dylan, very much like that. Like the
I'm the
movie
captain
Captain
now.
Phillips. Look at me. I am the captain now. So they actually had a big fight, and then because U.S. Patriot was very violent, far too violent. He kept the mantle of U.S. Patriot, went to a black, red, and white suit. I don't know
There's
where
no
he...
reflection on his personality or his choices
No.
at all.
I don't know where he is now. That's another one of those characters that kind of after the 90s just kind of...
Slipped and tripped into oblivion.
Yeah.
All right, so
Steve Rogers, let's jump into powers, shall we?
I focus mainly on Steve Rogers. So he has
He's the most important one.
he has no superhuman powers, and let that be known because a lot of people will mistake that. He is advanced. He has advanced abilities from an injection of super soldier serum and Vita ray treatment, radiation. That's
Similar to gamma rays, but more controllable.
So that's if you guys remember from the first Avenger movie, that's what he was encapsulated in. If you did see it,
Remember, it got really bright.
He got super bright, and and he took it like the man and he is, and he was able to successfully complete the process. So okay, what that includes is advanced strength, endurance, agility, speed, reflexes.
On your left.
On your left. Whoop! Yeah, durability, healing. And he also self-generates serum and never, ever runs out. Very important.
Yeah, and that also comes from the Vita Ray, which is where the other people had issues as well. They keep doing this super soldier serum without the Vita Ray because the doctor, I can't say his name.
I don't remember it right now either.
I know it, I can't say it. It's this weird German name.
And it's German, just Dr. German name.
Yeah, Dr. German name. Never wrote down in his notes that you needed the Vita Ray, and he did that on purpose because he knew what the war was doing. He knew there's a good chance, blah, 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 blah. So, by the way, there's an interesting twist that comes out of the Earth X storyline. I want to touch on that later when we talk about Secret Empire because there's a good chance that story kind of foreshadowed this all happening like 20 years ago. So it's pretty interesting. We'll get to that. But remember the doctor. We're going to talk on that a little bit later. Okay.
All right. Then there's also just his abilities that he has learned. He's mastered judo, kickboxing. He's a master of gymnastics and Western boxing, as well as an expert in combat tactics, piloting, survival, and counterterrorism.
Erskine. Thank you, Dylan. That's it.
All right. All right. Yeah, he was the one who was killed by the Hydra agent and pointed at Steve's chest and reminded him he is the one. He has to be good-hearted man, and that was also key why he was chosen for this program.
Yeah. But again, like I said, we're going to touch on something a little bit later. And the thing is, he could have still said good-hearted man because there's another thing we're going to touch on at the end of the issue. There's so much.
We'll hammer that out later.
Woo. All right.
All right. So his actual. Being that I had the question over here with the first Avenger, he in fact was not the first Avenger. He in fact showed up in Avengers issue 4 when they found him in the ice, just like in the movie.
Now, the reason the movie says the first Avenger, it was more because he started in World War II.
Right.
And the comics still kind of like he was the first Avenger when there wasn't an Avengers team.
Right.
He was part of the, was it the Defenders? No. Give me a second. It was Submariner, Human Torch, not the Fantastic Four Human Torch, but the Android Human Torch. What? What were they called?
That's interesting.
Were they the Defenders? Crap. Give me a second. You keep going.
Okay, so anyway, that's how the story of how he became part of what we know as the modern day Avengers in the Silver Age. It followed the same thing that he crash landed into the polar ice caps, and he was frozen there. And then we move on to a point where Captain America actually died in the comics. This is Civil War. Now, if you've seen the movie, he did not die, and a lot of people were anticipating that because that's what happened in the comics, or so it looked like it did. All right, so we'll get back to that one in a little bit later, but all right, his shield is made of vibranium, and that's from Black Panther's homeworld of Wakanda. Okay, and so that was put together by Tony Stark's father, Howard, and
Invaders.
the Invaders.
They were called the Invaders,
Good.
which is not a great name for a good hero team.
No,
But then again, you have Submariner on your team who's kind of a dick. So,
All right.
and you have an android who has no soul.
All right, now we're moving into the modern era. The all-new, all-different Marvel series.
Real quick, people, I want to point this out. His vibranium Shylade. I before E. I
Tired.
before E. And
Tired,
different.
folks.
DIFFR. Different.
I am different.
All new, all different.
That's my show.
Sorry, I just want to pick
I'm
on
spell it
him.
how I want.
It's America, right? America.
America.
America. All right.
America. All right.
Sorry, I just had to pick on him.
So Steve Rogers is a double agent for Hydra, as we mentioned earlier in the Secret Empire. So, and all right, let's see what else. He is. Okay, so in short, the cosmic cube was broken apart, and they tried to put it back together and it kind of formulated into a humanoid.
Yeah, a sentient being.
A sentient being, a girl, and
It's creepy.
yeah, it's
So creepy.
yeah. So, being that Red Skull had possession and was one who was using it, she kind of had paternal feelings for him. So she kind of wanted to make his desires come true, thereby making Captain America an agent of Hydra, because that was Red Skull's inner desire. And that is pretty interesting. And she did it, and she was able to retcon his entire history, where he grew up in a world where Hydra was kind of coming up themselves, just before he entered the United States Army. Pretty interesting how they were showing indoctrination with flyers amongst the citizens, having community meetings and and their ideals. It's kind of gives me chills thinking about it right now. So,
Well, the thing is like, it's very interesting to see that she was able to retcon, but what we find out now, she didn't retcon his history. She retconned the retcon history. What?
yeah,
What does that mean?
it means it was broken.
It was broken by somebody else first.
Yeah, and she's kind of
It
fixing
had been, yeah, she just kind of put it back to the way it was. What?
Yeah, folks,
Yeah,
you've been
it's
lied to
pretty
for
deep. 7 years.
77 years. You've been lied to.
And we're going to dive more into that when we come back. We're going to get back on the couch, get nice and comfy, because
intense.
this is going to be huge.
Give us a call. Going to break. Hey everybody, what's up?
We're back.
In the couch.
So it's going to get really controversial. It's about to get really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about to get feisty.
Yeah, right. Real feisty. So we're going to talk Secret Empire. And the reason we're going to talk Secret Empire is because Marvel has taken one of the most iconic characters in all of literature and pop culture. Not just comic books, but a man who kind of defines our country. Like,
Yeah, that is true, even more so than Superman.
yeah, I mean, Superman's known as the Big Blue Boy Scout, but he's an alien from another planet who
Correct.
adopted us. Captain America is America. I mean,
The
America.
captain of Merc.
But, I mean, you go to Earth X. Earth X was a alternate world storyline with a post-apocalyptic future, and it wasn't really a future. It was very close to future, but basically the Franklin Richards, who is
Yeah.
almost omnipotent and
Yeah.
he's the son of Reed Richards and Sue Richards, and apparently their space-radiated DNA crossing together created this near omnipotent
He's like the,
guy. Well, he went bad.
the most powerful
Yeah,
of all.
one of the most powerful beings of all time.
Yeah,
I think he's the most powerful human of all time.
Right. He is
He
beyond
kind of
Omega
went
level.
corrupt, and the Red Skull dies, and he kind of takes over his mantle, in a sense. But at 15 years old, he takes over the planet because he can, and he releases the Tarragon Mist
Yes.
and mutates the Tarragon Mist so that no matter who you are, everybody gets powers. So literally everybody has some kind of powers at this point. Captain America sticks to his guns. He is not affected because of the super soldier serum. It doesn't change him anymore, but he goes to wearing this like American flag toga kind of thing. It's actually the American flag from the White House that was ripped down by Franklin Richards when he took it over, and he has it draped on and tied across with the rope that had it up on the thing. The A, and I don't know if they ever explained it, is scarred into his forehead. I don't know if he just did it himself because he's not wearing a costume anymore.
It's pretty dark.
And then he has his shield, of course. But in that storyline, there is a one-shot Captain, because it went on Earth X, Paradise X, Universe X. It went on to this whole series. In that, there's a Captain America one-shot where he sacrifices himself to save the new the reborn Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel, another one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel universe,
Right.
can help set everything right. And he becomes like a very angelic. He becomes blue-skinned with a big, bright, glowing star on his chest, wings. The A is still there, but it's almost like painted now. Like it's not a scar anymore.
It's a tattoo.
It's like a tattoo almost. A white A on his face, a beam of light sword out of his right hand. Still has a shield. But in becoming this angelic character who's passed on, he's able to see more and know more and learn more knowledge, and in turn learns that Dr. What is his name, Dylan? Erskine. Thank you. Geez, why can't I don't have that tattooed on my hand? Dr. Erskine was secretly a Hydra agent and selling his secrets to Hydra to build super soldiers, and the bullet was meant to kill Steve Rogers, not Dr. Erskine.
Oops.
Now, remember the line he said, always be the person you are inside.
Right. That was
Here's
him
why.
reminding him.
Here's why. It's not that, oh, well, that proves that he wasn't a Hydra agent. No.
No.
The retcon does not come from the Cosmic Cube fulfilling the wish of the Red Skull and saying, I want him to be a Hydra agent back in birth. I'm going to change his past. No. The original use of the Cosmic Cube was used by the Allies during World War II because the Red Skull and Hydra were helping the Nazis completely decimate them in the war.
Right.
Not allowing them to win. They used the Cosmic Cube to erase that, wipe people's memories, and say, nope, we won.
Yep.
In the process of doing this, Hydra saw it coming. They knew this was going to happen. They put Captain America in this kind of pool of magic.
Oh, yeah.
And told him, look, and they showed him. They showed him back in the 1940s, this is what's going to happen. Here's a little girl. The Red Skull's going to do this, blah, 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 blah. He in that he's able to retain
It's funny. Yeah, it's like
a bit of a trigger, and it's right here.
It's some of his memory is wiped, but otherwise
Yeah.
his deep cover mission is still remembered and executed.
Yeah, he has to live the memories that the cosmic cube is putting on him. So America thinks, and the Allies think, that we did it, the cosmic cube worked. When Captain America is revived, he'll come back, he'll be an Avenger, he'll do all this good stuff. So everything he did happened. The Civil War, all the time with the Avengers, everything he did, like all of it happened, and he could see it happening before that time. Like it literally shows where he's literally living the memories, basically ahead of time. He's having two sets of memories, and he has to deal with that. So
it's like recapping on those memories too.
But he knows there's going to be a time when the time comes that the Red Skull is going to break those down, and there's a bit of a barrier that's put up because the magic pool didn't stop it completely from taking him over. But the Red Skull uses the sentient cosmic cube to break that down. Now, spoiler, that was one. Sorry, I should have said that first. Spoiler, Allies lost World War II and used an intergalactic cosmic cube to retcon the whole thing and say, nope, we won. Spoiler 2, and I don't have the issue here, Captain America straight up kills Red Skull. Now that it's come out, Red Skull thinks it's all his doing, and Captain America's like, I've been a Hydra agent longer than you have.
Oh,
I've been a Hydra agent since I was 6. No, that's just what I put in you. These are my memories. I made you. No. All you did was release me from the hold that I had. He then proceeds to throw him out a window from like a 20-story building. And it's not like one of those things, did Red Skull die? All you see is him splatted against the ground.
It's liquefied. Yeah,
Done. So that's spoiler number 2.
Yeah. Good luck, comics, getting him out of that one.
So spoiler number 3. For those of you that don't know, Rick Jones, when Captain America came out of the ice, Rick Jones was there. He had a striking resemblance to Bucky Barnes. Eventually, and very reluctantly, he allowed Rick Jones to take up the mantle of Bucky Barnes and be the new Bucky, and he was his sidekick for a short time. They've always been friends. Rick has been with him. Rick has been best friends with Bruce Banner, who's now recently been killed due to and that was actually all set up by Captain America.
Yeah.
Because he knew the Hulk could stop him.
Yeah.
He knew the Hulk could stop him. So the whole triggering him and his anger and getting Hawkeye to kill him, that whole deal, Captain America has set things in motion for decades.
Civil
War, the Secret War.
The Secret Wars.
All that. Just, he's been planting seeds for decades. So, Rick Jones is captured because he was able to hack into some stuff, and he found a way that he thinks he can save Captain America. Now, here's the thing. Captain America's not evil. He's just Hydra. And he doesn't look at it as evil. He begs Rick Jones, says, Rick, we don't want to kill you. I don't want to kill you. You are my friend. I care about you. Do you think I like seeing the people I care about being thrown in jail or killed? No.
It's just an ideal.
Yeah, he's like, look,
he's pushing.
I am the supreme leader now. I have to set an example. So you have to go in front of the firing squad. But just say Hail Hydra. Say it. And you can just be in prison. Just say Hail Hydra. And maybe I can even get you out. I don't want you to die. He's like, no. He's like, I know you're a hero, and I know who you are, and you're my best friend, and we'll be fine. He's like, you will save me. So, goes before the firing squad. Rick Jones' last words are, Avengers assemble, and then they brutally shoot the crap out of him. And I mean brutally shoot the crap out of him. Oh, no, it's in this one. I think. No, it's in this one. They brutally shoot the crap out of him. I could not believe it at all.
So it's just like Steve Rogers, but I mean his complete ideal with the power of Steve Rogers behind it, thinking it's all good. I mean, and that's a very determined person.
I don't know if real quick before we go to commercial, if you can get this on a robotic. And then we'll go to commercial on this note. It's right here where my finger is. So, this is what happens. This is how committed he is. And I want to keep pushing this committed. Look at that. Look at that bloody mess of Rick Jones. Wow. Wow. So, but again, he's not a bad person. He feels that Hydra is the way to go. The world is safer now. Like, it's crazy. So when we come back from commercial, I want to talk about why I've been so committed to the word committed, and that he's not a bad guy. I want to bring this up. So we're going to go to commercial. We'll be right back, and I'm going to explain a little bit more and why it's really controversial. We'll be right back. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming back to us. This is where it gets juicy.
Secret Wars.
Empire.
Empire.
Secret Empire.
Oops.
Secret
Sorry.
Wars was the last one. Was a disaster.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about that. That's okay. Look, here's the deal. At first, I was super against this. This whole thing was just, I felt it was just for shock value. Why would you take a character like this? It's like making, like, it even makes more sense to make Superman evil than it does Captain America to me. Like, I can understand somebody who with almost godlike powers, who's not from this planet, kind of getting fed up and
feasible,
turning.
yeah, more feasible
And
for
Injustice
him.
makes perfect sense to me.
Yes. Oh my God, I love
Okay,
Injustice.
Captain America turning evil
It's just,
when he has always stuck his ground, including dropping America from his name for the fact that the government was being dumb. Like, they're like, you guys are not for America. This is not the America I love. So I am no longer Captain America. I am the captain. I will continue to fight for what's right, and that's fighting against you. So him doing his whole Hail Hydra thing, which he helped destroy Hydra. So where's it coming? The Hydra that Doritzko had built up was not the correct Hydra. I'm not saying Hydra's right. It's very almost communistic in the way it does things. It's very totalitarian. That's the best way to put it. It's a totalitarian style of government. In the fact that it's complete martial law, you know, even in schools every morning it's, you know, Hail Hydra, you know, and
one party system.
they literally burnt all the history books because that history is incorrect. So everybody who's got powers is locked up who isn't on Hydra's side, this whole nine. It's not good. Like the heroes that are left, and I guess we should discuss that. I say the heroes that are left. In Secret War, you got me doing it now. You got me doing it now. Great. Secret Empire 0.
Okay.
It shows his plan come to fruition.
Finally, yeah.
Once you get into Secret Wars, Secret Empire 1, it's because they've had too many Secret Wars.
Yeah.
And now it's Secret Empire. Like, you had Secret Wars and Secret Empire right after?
Too many secrets, people. Stop.
Yeah.
Too many.
Can we get like a public empire?
Yeah, just out there,
Like-
truthful empire. Just
free
open,
empire.
Open. A galactic opening.
An interstellar empire.
All inclusive.
Yeah.
So, okay.
A bipartisan empire. No. Okay. Anyway, what happens? His plan.
Yeah.
He sets up over 1 trillion Chitauri invasion, a mass Hydra invasion on 2 fronts. So there's a 3-part attack. In the process, there is a global shield that keeps aliens out. This was developed during Secret War. I was allowed to say it then. And it turns out to be the bane of Captain Marvel's existence. Because the big hitters, the heavy hitters, Quasar, Captain Marvel, all those guys, they all go out into space to fight the Chitauri and hold them off because the shield has been dropped.
And
a Hydra suicide bomber went in and blew up the shield.
Guardians
so now,
are there too, right?
Yes. Guardians are there. All this, the interstellar big hitters are out there. You know, the people
They're
super
on one
strong.
part of the theater.
Yeah, they're all out there in space. Iron Man and Ironheart, who is the new Iron Man, Tony is back in an old suit. They're trying to fix the shield. At the same time, New York is being attacked by a bunch of escaped prisoners from S.H.I.E.L.D. S.H.I.E.L.D. created this terrible place called Pleasant Hill.
Yeah, that was kind of not the smartest move.
Yeah, using the Cosmic Cube, they made a prison where they literally...
That was Maria Hill's.
Yeah, Maria Hill, and Maria Hill really screwed up. Really not okay.
Nobody's perfect.
Completely unethical.
Yeah.
Completely. You put the prisoners in there, and it removes like their soul, their memories, who they are, and it starts to reshape them, kind of like Captain America. They escape. Somehow escape. So they're attacking New York, and I mean, there's Gravitron, Nitro. Nitro is the guy who started Civil War when he blew up by that school.
Okay.
All kinds of crazy people. Big time hitters there. And then, in another part, there's another Hydra invasion in Sokovia.
Right.
Where they're trying to take over the government. And the government just goes, here you go, here's keys.
Which
literally, just like, oh, you're here?
The keys
like Hydra knocked on the door and like, we're Hydra. Oh, here you go. Wait, that's
what
it?
did they get the keys to? A whole bunch of nukes.
Whole bunch of nukes.
Yeah, so while that happened like way too fast, you have 3 different... He's trying to coordinate, secretly, he's trying to coordinate the defense of all 3 of these attacks. And from what you see as a reader, it's all coming to fruition for him. And it's pretty scary, because you could see him, the way he's looking up. I mean, the way it's illustrated, I mean, he's drawn in a dark light.
Yeah,
you could see
you can see his mind going.
Something is coming, and it just does not feel good. So once it, and the best thing is they do finally, without giving too much away, they finally do get on top of everybody. And it's right then, right at that point, where he starts to reveal to everybody that he is not on the side of S.H.I.E.L.D., good America. He's on his own via Hydra.
Yeah. He it's insane to me how cold and calculated when you start to think about the fact that he's been doing this for the last 20, 30 years. But so the suicide bomber that took the shield down was a distraction. He had full control of the shield. He locks Earth's cosmic heavy hitters outside. They can't get in either.
Yeah,
he turns the shield back on, and there's still just trillions of trillions. That's the word used in the comic. Trillions of Chitauri coming.
Omnidirectional, just coming at the Earth.
Just boom, boom, boom. The new Quasar gets eaten by one of those Leviathans.
Yeah.
Other people get hit. It's bad. Really, really bad. Then, in New York,
The Defenders are up there.
the Defenders are all there. Doctor Strange is there. The new Avengers Unity unit with Rogue and the one it's X-Men and Avengers together.
Right.
They're all there. They're all getting there. They're all like, oh yeah. All of a sudden, all the bad guys disappear, and then this giant dark dome of dark energy out of the Darkhold book. If you've seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you'll know what the Darkhold is.
Yeah.
Or if you've read the books. Just over Manhattan, and they're trapped. Just trapped. And then, in Sokovia, the entire S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier, the entire S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier
I can't
fleet
right.
is brought in, and he takes them all out and takes out all the heroes there, and just in one fell swoop, done.
Yeah, they're hypnotizing them, and they're also
Dr. Faust is hypnotizing.
And Hydra agents are boarding all the ships and taking everybody over, and they're not resisting at all because they're under mind control.
Yeah.
And that was pretty trippy too.
And that's why you see later on that there's certain heroes fighting with Captain America. They haven't joined Hydra. Vision gets hacked. Scarlet Witch gets mind controlled by Dr. Faust, and there's others that Dr. Faust is controlling. Now, Captain America is not dumb. He is aware that everybody around that table at Hydra, besides Madame Hydra herself and maybe Matador, I think it was his name, Matador, like Armanzola, Dr. Faust, Baron Zemo, they're all plotting to take his spot. They're all plotting. He is very well aware.
That's just what they do.
So
it's to be expected.
It's interesting to see where this goes. If there's a coup, how it turns out. But the reason is, and I have to show this before we leave. This is it. This I'm going to need a robotic for as well. As you well know, Thor's hammer Mjolnir. He who is worthy shall carry the mantle of Thor. Be able to carry the. Unless you're worthy, you can't hold the hammer. Right now in the comics, Thor's not even worthy.
No.
Jane Foster became the new Thor because she was worthy, but Thor Odinson was told in Forever Sin, or whatever it was called, that storyline, the original Sin storyline, that gods aren't worthy, and it made him immediately drop the hammer. Look who holds the hammer now. Can we get the robotic on this? So after he wipes out all these heroes, he makes Thor disappear. She drops the hammer. He just casually walks up and picks it up.
Now, why do you think he is able to raise Mjolnir?
It makes you think how the hammer works. He wholeheartedly believes that what he is doing is right. That Hydra is right. It'll be a safer, better world. No more crime. Crime was down 75%. Aggressive crime was down 90%. But it's a totalitarian regime where people don't have any freedom, but he feels that he's doing the right thing. And he has always been a man of his beliefs. And he's had the hammer a couple times before.
Yes.
For a very short time. Never actually just picked it up and been like, mine. He wholeheartedly believes in his cause. He believes his cause is worthy. Thor lost the hammer when he was told gods are not worthy.
So it's a mind thing.
So it's a mind thing.
It's kind of like how
So
Jordan,
the hammer, as long as you wholeheartedly believe with every fiber of your being that you are worthy, then you're worthy. And that shows. So I'm really looking forward to seeing where the story goes. I'm actually on board with this now. I'm okay with this conversion because you can still see the Cap it's still Cap. It's just, he's now Captain Hydra, not Captain America, but it's the same Cap, but you still see sparks of him. He loves his friends still. He loves these people. Tony Stark is still his best friend. All that kind of stuff, blah, blah, blah. Really interested to see where this goes. Now the entire Marvel Universe is going to be going against him. In a kind of rather reluctant kind of way. It's going to be interesting to see where it goes. So that's why I said it was controversial, because I'm actually now okay with this, and I want to see where it goes.
It's cool.
So as long as they don't jump the shark.
Yeah.
On that note, we jumped the shark. No, we didn't. That's okay. I am SuperBeard Vince Hoover.
I am Jason Q. Perez.
This is Comic Book 101. God bless. We'll see you guys next week.